My name is Cheyenne Gotch, and I'm doing advocacy through social media for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. A lot of people probably have heard a lot about St. Jude's already because it's a pretty popular nonprofit around the United States. But just a little insight on what they are all about. The St. Jude's mission is to advocate or advance cures, the means of prevention for pediatric catastrophic diseases through research and treatment, consistent with the vision of our founder Danny Thompson or Thomas. No children is denied treatment based on race, religion, or a family's ability to pay. And they have kept that mission since the day they opened their doors. And to show a little bit about how it came about and how they've continued this, you have to obviously look into the history a little bit. So obviously, like I said, Danny Thomas was like the founder of St. Jude, and it really was amazing to hear their journey because they did not have social media to advocate back then. So just a little bit about it. He had struggled trying to make it as an actor, but he got a break and became a comedian and a storyteller. So through the success of that, he actually carried a vow with Saint Jude Thaddeus, I think is how you pronounce it, and who is a patron saint of hopeless causes. Um, so after agreeing that building the shrine for a god was not needed, he agreed that he would build a local hospital that would be for children who are disabled in Chicago. So they looked in Chicago a little bit and realized that there was a larger need elsewhere for it. So after realizing that, actually the Catholic Archbishop of Chicago suggested that the hospital be built in Memphis, Tennessee. So Danny Thomas went to Tennessee and he met there with a group of people and they kind of began a journey for St. Jude's. So for their fundraising, obviously that took up to like 7 years before they were able to break ground. And throughout those 7 years, they did a lot of advocacy and obviously fundraising just to get money. So they finally opened their doors in 1962, and so then and that's when they began to help a lot of people, and then they're able to get the news out about what our St. Jude actually is. Obviously, to have a treatment center like this, they have to have a lot of money to come in. So, with that amount of money, St. Jude's was able to pay for the treatments of these children, which allowed many of them to fight a battle that otherwise they could not due to money restraints. So they accept donations from all over the world, obviously, on a regular basis that allows them to continue with their treatments. But a large way of St. Jude's is able to keep its promise to the children and their families for not ever paying a bill is actually through the American Lebanese Syrian Associated Charities. This is the third largest healthcare related charities in the United States, and these two, with St. Jude's and with the ALSAC, they matched up right when St. Jude's opened their doors, and they actually helped to allow that to happen. So obviously, St. Jude requires a lot of money, and so $1.9 million is for operating costs each day. So that is actually astronomical. So not having the ALSAC would actually it'd be a huge detriment to St. Jude's itself. So $180,000 is covered by patient insurance, which is a lot of money, but when it comes down to it, it's hardly enough for the 1.9 that it costs daily. So the $1.74 million a day is funded by charitable contributions for the ALSAC. Then they obviously raise money through different fundraising events, and that's like something that the ALSAC has put on also. Some of those are like the St. Jude's Mathathon. Up Till Dawn actually is one that has happened around the community in Kearney on the UNK campus. Radiothons, television marketing. A lot of them, the biggest one that they have been able to get fundraising through is St. Jude is a FedEx, and that actually is held by the PGA Tour. Obviously, advocating for St. Jude. Something that I had looked into because I was really interested in all these different fundraising activities is I wanted to create my own fundraising activity. And so just to do that a little bit, so mine would basically be I'd want to attract families of all ages so they can enjoy these activities while raising money for St. Jude. And I came up with Soaking for St. Jude. And that would just consist of in the summertime having like slip and slides, water guns, baby pools, water balloons, just a lot of different activities for children to play in. Obviously, there'd be a little bit of a cover charge for people to get in, just so we'd be able to raise money for St. Jude, and all of those proceeds would go towards the donation. Something that I would want to involve, obviously, with it because this is for St. Jude, would be a table involving information So St. Jude, obviously, there'd be information about them, about stories of children that are continuing to have their services, and then there'd also be the ability to sign up to become a regular donator. There are people that can donate. They donate weekly or monthly or just whenever they really can, and it doesn't have to be a big amount, but just any little bit counts when you're trying to raise money for this cause, just because it is so expensive. Another thing that I thought about incorporating just to get the news out there would be digital storytelling, because obviously creating a video helps in a lot of different ways, especially through social media. You're able to catch the attention of public on the websites, and you're also, I feel like when you connect people with the stories of people that are getting these services, it comes at a more personal level. So making a video for these children and showing at the end of it maybe a little snippet of basically of the activity that I would like to do for advocating for it. I feel like making that video and sharing it throughout Facebook, obviously, and other social media sites would help to advocate for that, along with maybe people even starting to donate when they see the video of these children that are getting their services. For the social media advocacy, obviously, like I had said, I'd want to share that video that I would make and put it on the St. Jude page, and maybe they can gain support through that too. Tagging in there St. Jude or at St. Jude on Twitter, and basically putting on all of our social media sites and asking friends to share it also. And then making a flyer, I think would be a big deal because it'd be off of social media, but it would still be out in your community. So Instagramming a picture for the flyer, and obviously the flyer would consist of what would be offered, what the cost would be to get in, when it would happen, where it would happen, and so just get the word out there about people being able to be a part of this. And then YouTubing the digital storytelling video, I think would be huge because a lot of times when you type in like social media or you type in on YouTube for St. Jude, there are a lot of videos that come into play, and having one of those up there I think would be great. And then also continuing to advocate off of social media. I understand that this is based on social media, but like we had seen in the Coney 2012 video, um, a lot of times with nowadays with social media, people continue to share and like stuff, but it actually ends up dwindling out because they think that's the only thing that they need to do. So I understand probably wanting to continue to post those infographics and advertise for around your community would be great, and posting those flyers on maybe bulletin boards or maybe getting just on like street polls. And I feel like combining social media advocacy with public advocacy would be dangerous for everyone to understand, or would be good for everyone to understand, because they'd be able to also use the social media strategy, which would get your information to many different people, while also continuing to advocate in your community, which would be great for this because this would be a community organization that I would be able to do just around like the Kearney area. So getting that out there, I feel like a lot of times once we put those two together, it'd be a lot better compared to just advocacy on social media and just advocacy in the public.